Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode here of the Atlanta United MLS Career Mode series. We did start our Atlanta United Challenge series of Global Domination, the World Tour, whatever you want to call it. Those videos should both go up. Those first two episodes should go up before this one does. Definitely go check those out if you guys haven't already. We're going to be finishing up this career mode probably in this recording session because we're basically trying to get to the U.S. Open Cup and then obviously play through the playoffs. We'll span that obviously across a couple different seasons, or a couple different episodes rather. As always, we are streaming this on Twitch, so if I am talking to chat, if you guys do see chat on the screen, stuff like that, just know I am streaming over on Twitch. The schedule for my Twitch can be found on my channel on YouTube and on Twitch and my Twitter, so follow me wherever if you guys want to come and watch the streams, if you want to see them live, everything like that. And then we also have a stream-only series with the George Bello series as well, so, you know, come hang out, and it's a fun time. So, what we're going to be doing here, as I still struggle to get this thing to go to what I want, because I wasn't having some like stuff playing in the background, because it kind of helps me if I ever get like antsy and I want to focus on something else while I'm streaming. I like to have it up. So that should be that. That should be good. All right, so we're going to simulate some games here because, again, we don't really care about the cup. Chelsea need a better striker than Morata and Giroud. Agreed. They need a few things. They'll be all right, though. I'm sure this window will be good for them. We're going to simulate these 4 to 5 games. What's up, Suck? Welcome to the stream, buddy. Fantastic. We're just going to simulate these games again. We're not too worried about the league. The objective of this season to end out the career mode is to win the U.S. Open Cup, hopefully get the Supporter Shield. We might be able to go for the treble of sorts this year. We're already on pace to blow out the competition for the Supporter Shield. We're in the final of the U.S. Open Cup, and then obviously we'll be in the playoffs for the MLS Cup. So it's kind of like a weird treble because you don't actually win a trophy for the Supporter Shield. So it's a little bit of a weird one, but we're going to try for it anyways. Game's trying to load here. That's up in the background. We're finally starting to get settled here. Let's see. All right, so these games are going to simulate through. Again, we weren't worried about the window or anything like that. We weren't going to sign anybody. We want to end the career mode with the team that we have. We don't want to make it too crazy, so. Nor did I really need to spend that money either way, so let's play a couple games here. We're going to play a couple games, and then offer for Nagby was retracted. I wasn't paying attention. Release clause got paid for Miles Robinson. He's going to go to Leverkusen, or not Miles Robinson, sorry, Anthony Robinson, our left back. He's going to go to Leverkusen in the next window, but that's fine because we're not doing the career mode after the season. So I really don't care about the players that are getting bought and everything like that. Let's see, delete all those. We don't care about the transfers for Nagy. I'm just going to ignore them all, basically. Again, this is the team right now. We ended up selling Farines in the last episode, I believe. His release clause ended up getting paid for. We thought about bringing somebody else in, but decided not to. And this is kind of the team we're looking at now. Is this our bench team? No, this is our starting lineup. Okay, cool. So we'll go ahead and hop in with this team. We're going to play this game against Toronto just because, you know, why not? Currently in the table, we have 75 points. The next closest team has 42, so that's how the league's going right now. Sporting KC has 54. But honestly, if we simulated the rest of the games this season, we're going to win the Supporter Shield, so we basically already won it. So there's one trophy in the bag. Like I said, we're going to do the U.S. Open Cup in this episode. I believe we're going to play this Toronto game, and then we're going to play the final. And then in the next episode, if you guys are watching this on YouTube, we're going to start the MLS Cup. And then hopefully finish the episode after that. I think that's enough games. Probably not. It would be if we're playing the new format, but we're not. Who did I lose? Why do I have to train somebody? I guess we'll just train up our Tim Weah. Just for the playoffs, maybe? Nah, I don't want to train Tim Weah. Who do I want to train? Let's train Sancho? Probably Sancho. I have all these youth players, and I'm not going to do anything with them. It's honestly probably a little bit of a waste of money, but, you know, that's fine. Yeah, let's train Sancho. Get his stats up a little bit. I want to try to get his stamina up, even though it's an easy drill. He'll do well with it, obviously, but just to get his stamina up, try to get it up a little bit to at least 70 for the start of playoffs and everything like that. Make Tim Weah a beast. I can only do so much in 3 weeks, so he'll end up being what he is, but that's okay. Again, this game really doesn't even matter. I'm just playing it just so I can have a warm-up game and not go into the U.S. Open Cup completely cold and end up completely screwing it up. So let's see. We're going to go with this starting lineup. Normal starting lineup. What you would expect. And we'll see if we can win this game. Try to warm up a little bit. Get ready for the U.S. Open Cup. See if we can beat the Red Bulls in the final. I believe that's the final. And then head on into the playoffs. I really was only trying to focus on the U.S. Open Cup, but obviously our team is so strong that the amount of games that I'm simulating, I was always going to end up winning the league because MLS teams don't sign anybody, which is why I'm ending this career mode, and I'm kind of tired of it because the teams just aren't progressing at the same pace that I am. A lot of their players don't have the same potential, obviously. They're not signing young players. They're not doing like anything that they need to do to compete with us, so it's making it kind of tough to continue that career mode, but that is fine. We have our World Cup series that we're going to be doing. We have our Atlanta United 2 series that we're doing. We have our player career mode series we're doing. And that'll kind of keep us interested. And then maybe, who knows, we'll start a 4th career mode over here as well. You never know. Because once this is done, we'll only be down to two series going on YouTube, which will be a little weird. We want to get that back to 3 just so that we have some variety on the channel. So we'll end up starting a new career mode, maybe even a PC career mode that Stuck and I have been talking about, seeing if it's something we may want to do. Just, you know, spice it up a little bit, give us something, give us a long-term career mode maybe that we can work on. Maybe it's like Atlanta United in German League 2 or something that goes alongside the Domination Series that we're doing, the World Tour.
I mean, we've seen so many performances
like
that got them to the top of the table. We might not quite see the
something that'll give us a little bit of a road to glory feel.
But I think you can forgive them for that.
Trying to find a way through here, probing away.
But also be a little bit different.
This game really is a chance for him to express himself.
Because we want to do a series where we have longevity, which obviously means Champions League, because that is the biggest competition you can do for club in a career mode in FIFA this year. So we'll do that. And then once we end up finishing one of these other series, maybe at the end of the season we start PES. Like maybe we end up switching our player career mode series that we're doing right now. Maybe in a couple more seasons after we play some more games, end up doing some stuff with Dortmund, see what club we can get to. Maybe we start a PES career mode, player career mode, just to kind of spice it up at the end of the life cycle for FIFA. Oh, Tim Weah. My long shots have been kind of boo-boo. Boo-boo. Lobo. Jump. Did you see that, man? Yeah, I did. Best game of the season. I didn't watch the whole game, but I saw highlights. I was working, so I could only watch so much. I did see the 2 centimeter goal, or no goal, I guess I should say. The only thing I didn't see was Liverpool's goal. I don't even know who scored, but I saw both of the City goals. Which the Aguero one, I'm like, man literally dove and then laid on the ground for a solid, like, 10 seconds before he got up, and then I think all the defenders forgot about him by the time he got the ball and scored. He was literally just laying on the ground for so long. I remember watching the highlight, and I was like, I swear if that's how Aguero scores this goal, I'm going to be pissed.
well, stuck out a foot and cut off the pass.
Sent you a tweet. I'll check it later.
He's cut that out well read. And they're looking good when they get the ball out wide, as they've done here. Martinez.
Let's go, Tim. Weah.
I think the wide man's got a chance here. There's space.
Oh my, Tim Weah, that pass was boo-boo.
That will end the threat, at least for the
I
moment.
know you're a striker, but come on, man.
Here's Parker. Acosta. Martinez.
Oh,
Tackle that.
skilling against the CPU just never works for me as well as I envision. I can skill against humans a lot better than I can skill against AI.
Cross driven in low. It's one back.
They were making jokes about people watching the game underwater. Yeah, I'm sure they were. A lot of people probably were.
That's a great finish for the first
I opened
goal
it
of
and
the
I
day.
kept an eye on it, but I wasn't focusing on it
So the
that much.
first goal, it's 1-0.
I knew it was going to be a good game, but
I like the look of this attack. Still got a bit to do, but this is promising. That's his game, isn't it? Intercepting.
you could just kind of tell the way that Man City was playing. It was going to be a really good game and really close. I didn't think it was going to be a blowout either way.
Bit of space to go forward into with the ball.
But
Acosta.
after Liverpool couldn't score that goal, you just kind of always felt like somehow Man City was going to come out after
Guiding it through the defender.
struggling the past couple weeks.
What an opportunity if he picks out the right man.
Hey,
It's a
let's go,
super
baby.
goal.
Kellen
And it's a
Acosta.
splendid contest between these
Easy
two
money.
sides. Nothing much between them and the shape of the game. And now we're back again with nothing between them on the scoreline.
1-1, not bad, not bad.
So away we go at 1-1. So here we are at half.
Do-do-do-do-do. Again, after this game, we're just going to simulate the next few. Get to that U.S. Open Cup final. And then
Acosta. Now
keep it
this looks
moving.
promising.
Hopefully win it.
Can really get at the opposition here.
And not choke again like last year. Was it last year that we lost?
Harm's way then, because it looked as though there was going to be some real damage done to them. Chance to go at the opposition with pace.
Well, the crowd trying to G their team up here. They could have easily gone behind there.
Going forward.
Honestly,
well.
City doesn't even bother me anymore. Like, I don't know.
He's got his shot off now. And the save is made by the goalkeeper.
Like, at what point does City still not have history?
Here. And now the shot.
Like, is it going to be 50 years from now and people are like, City has
Peter
no
out that
history?
attack. It's the goalkeeper's ball quite easily. I think that's a good performance, isn't it, Alan? From
I
him
mean,
in
they
the
definitely
first
bought
half.
their way back in the league,
Good
but,
vision here. In on the goalkeeper.
you know,
He has
not
come
every
to the
team's going to be
rescue this
Leicester,
time.
and even Leicester
Suddenly
can
they
win
could
the
be on the
league, but then
counter-attack.
fall back to mid-table real quick. So
Oh, they're almost too quick for themselves.
sometimes you
Fell
got to
over
buy
their
your
own
way to the
feet.
top.
And the counter-attack just peters out. And now Hamilton. And it's been an hour of very good football here. We've still got 30 more minutes to go, and I'm sure we're going to enjoy that as well. Now Powell. Short passes, but they're keeping the ball. Real chance.
Let's go,
Goal.
Timothy.
They've scored here, and they are now in the lead. It is certainly the kind of match that we thought we were coming here to see.
Is that who I lost to last season?
The better football.
Yeah, and they've handled that
Or are you talking about in real
expectation,
life?
haven't they, in terms of being strong favourites, so fair play to them for that.
And we
I don't think I lost to
start the game
Chicago
2-1.
in the career mode. Did I?
Delgado.
Maybe.
Josie
I
Altidore.
feel like I lost to, like, New York City.
Stopping the pass, getting through with a good piece of anticipation. Incisive pass. Striding forward, purposefully. Space to try and hit it now. Well, it's easy here for the
It's looking good for Liverpool.
Assistant looking very confident about that one. Two flags, the referee gave the offside. Activity on the bench for the losing team. A substitute getting ready to come on.
Number 87.
He saw the look from the other player and saw where the pass was going and read it.
Oh, the
Neatly intercepted.
pass. Let's go, Nagby.
Substitution that the home side want to make.
Oh, Sancho. Atlanta Chiefs
Well,
FC
finally, we've
beat them
got
in
the
that
news.
history. Hey, you know.
This intriguing deal.
Once upon a time,
For a while, it has gone
Man
ahead.
City was
I've seen a
in the
lot
top
of this
division
player and, I think he's going
before
to be
the Premier League era, but
really big signing for the team concerned. He's
I'm
a
just
good
saying.
player.
there's a lot of teams with EPL history that'll never be back.
On the attack here. Good reading of the play by the defender.
Oh, these fans
City was
know
just the first
not
team they
much
got
time
like
left.
that
Try
money,
and get an equaliser. It
and
might
that's
be
why
now or
everybody
never.
hates them.
Well, the atmosphere's improving now. Now the home team need to improve.
But
Still
like,
with a
I
shot.
don't know, man.
Time is
Far too
I think it was
close
good for
across to the
Manchester.
keeper. We've got 8 more minutes of the
So
90.
I don't know. I don't mind City,
Right
and
from
maybe
the
a lot of
beginning,
that comes from
never
the fact
known
that they
which
have
way this
Pep,
game is going to go, and
who's my
it's
favorite
kept its
manager,
drama right to the last.
bar Arsene Wenger.
Trying to catch the other team out with a quick break here. This
Oh.
should
Oh, how'd you miss that?
It's a fine save.
PSG and Man City will get that hit.
At the end of it all.
Well, he won't be popular if the opposition.
I have more of a problem with it for PSG than I do for Man City, because PSG is doing it in a league that doesn't have money. Like, there's not really room to grow
Delgado.
organically in that league. So, like, nobody else is going to put up a fight against PSG unless another Monaco situation happens where the owners don't go bankrupt and have to pull all the money out the team.
A minimum of 2 minutes of added time.
That's out of danger there with that
But
clearance.
like in the Premier League, Man City having that much money didn't win them
And the referee
year after year after year of titles. Their money just made them relevant. Granted, do they still spend too much money? Of course. They definitely spend more money than they should for the success rate that they've had. Before Arsenal started winning stuff again, I think I said if Arsenal doesn't win anything in the next like 3 years, I was gonna hop ship to City, just because like if I'm hopping ship from Arsenal, I'm going to a team I know that's gonna win. I don't care how much they're hated. All right. We're going to jump forward and play this game against Red Bulls. I'm really glad we won that game against Toronto, especially because I wasn't paying that much attention to it. But let's see. Let's make sure everybody's happy. A player got injured, and that's why you don't simulate games, ladies and gentlemen. Pity Martinez out of the team, but that's okay. We have Tito as backup. The fact that PSG have all that money and still struggle in Champions League says it all. It's because they don't play against anybody all year. Like, let's take esports, for example. And I know that, like, esports is, like, whatever. So let's specifically talk about Call of Duty. Mainly because I watch Call of Duty a lot. But this is, it's fact in all esports. My team's going to be exhausted this game. Shite. In Call of Duty, NA dominates. EU is finally starting to get there, and by EU I really only mean England. They dominate because no matter how much money is put into the organizations in England and Europe, they don't scrim and practice and play against the best talent in the US because they can't, because of ping, because of internet, whatever. It's not realistic for them to practice against Americans, and Americans are just better because they've been practicing against the best and playing for a longer period of time. PSG gets to play against France. They don't get to practice. That's why, honestly, it's like I get there's like this weird middle ground, and I think Germany is why there's so much success in Germany and Spain in terms of the Champions League, is because they have a nice balance of there's like a decent top half of the table that has still like the top 2 or 3 are pretty consistent, always going to win the league between those 3. So they don't have to put so much effort into the league as they do in Champions League, so they can rest certain players during that, and then they can play their best players in Champions League, but still get them practice throughout the season as well. PSG could play their bench for the whole season and be fine, but then their main team doesn't play. And when their main team does play, they just hang out and run around in circles and practice for a day. So they don't really get like real competition. I really wish the CPU would have played my backup lineup, because now I have nobody. My whole team is tired. So it's just, I don't know. It would be super hard for PSG to do well. Gunner is a upgrade for menu. Big facts. I'm curious how the Tottenham game goes 2 weekends from now? A week and a half from now, I guess. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna play Yamil on the left for now. And I'm also gonna do this and play Julian. We just have to make sure that our team doesn't get too exhausted here. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's like you do want to expect a team to do that well in Champions League that spends that much money. But even the best players get complacent. League One is the worst of the top 5 leagues. Exactly. There's just no competition. Because there's no money. There's no money in France in terms of football. Which is surprising.
Well, you recognize
but PSG
him,
controls all the money.
But he's definitely on view today.
I guarantee you, if you took PSG's money away from them, or PSG decided to like buy the league and gave their money across all the other teams just to make the league better, PSG would win Champions League.
It's a nationwide competition.
Because they'd actually play against somebody. Why are we playing the US Open Cup at CenturyLink Field?
Delighted to see that and hope that the supporters who have perhaps been enchanted
Gross,
only recently with the round ball and all that the rest of the world.
Oh God, I hate this stadium.
Now. US Open Cup
like more than life itself, I hate this stadium,
I think the fans
dude.
become more knowledgeable as the years go by. They've seen some really good games in this competition. They're up for this one, and I think those players are as well.
The match for you today, Atlanta United against New York Red Bulls. Now we can check on the lineup. And here is the lineup for them today.
Oh my touch.
Well, we think, Alan, it'll be a 4-5-1 formation, which can look a bit negative.
Yeah, but you look
completely
at the
stripped the ball from me right there. Let's go, Tim.
Five, and I think a couple at least will be trying to support the lone frontman.
No matter how much money one team spends in a league, you can't expect the team from the worst of the top 5 leagues to win the league. Or win the Champions League, rather.
Could whip it
it's just not realistic. Am I pro salary cap or no, or pro no salary cap?
We picked out as the likely candidates to keep
it has to be done the right way, and it's just not realistic. I'm assuming for the MLS they need to do no salary cap. In my opinion.
And I'm expecting a bit more of the same today.
Villalba. Well, I like the look of this attack. Surely. He's gone.
Oh, Julian.
Nearly paid off.
Yeah, really good technique there. Known for that kind
or at least a higher salary cap. I get the reasoning behind salary caps, but it's just not realistic. Players are going to get their money. Teams are going to find ways around it. I mean, you're trying to control world football if we're talking about the FIFA level of it. It'll never happen. Even UEFA can't control it. There's too many teams. There's too many teams with way too much money, that can just pay lawyers to find the one loophole that they found or left that's actually going to get them to avoid using the salary cap. And the bans aren't big enough to actually make a team not want to do whatever they can to get a leg up. Like, the repercussions just aren't that important.
I guess he was aiming for a teammate, but he said
like, a team like Barcelona doesn't care about a transfer ban for, what, a year and a half, when they're going to get the best striker in the world, one of them, right after. Like, their team was already good enough to survive and to do well and to make money, and they made all that money to just be able to spend it in the next window because that was legal money they made.
Here's Davis.
Like, the salary cap would have to be so absurdly high that it just wouldn't even be like a number that anybody could justify saying. And somebody would always have an argument that, well, we deserve to spend more money because we make more money than you.
That's an easy interception.
Because, like, what's the incentive in a team making, you know, X amount of money if they can't reinvest it into the team to make more money?
Real chance. Oh, they thought they were in, but the flag has gone up.
So, if anything, I think the way it is right now makes sense in terms of
Adams.
Financial fair play. I think financial fair play is a great idea. I wish the MLS would do it too. The only thing they need is stricter punishment.
Rivas.
What tactic would you use if you were to become a manager?
The ball, and that, I suppose, is a threat. Here's Davis. He's had a go here. Whoa, that's
tactic in what sense? I mean, I wouldn't park the bus. Possession, fast build-up, play from the back, counter-attack. I think all those are kind of synonymous with each other. Maybe possession and counter-attacks a bit.
Good forward play from them. Going for goal.
One way or the other, but
Corner given.
I think if financial fair play is a thing and the teams that make the most money can spend the most money, then it incentivizes other teams to continue to try to build their brand, to build their team, to get better players, to spend more money, to win more things, to get more talent, to win more things. But if you're just throwing a salary cap on, nobody cares. The league doesn't need to be, or the world doesn't need to be even. It doesn't need to be a quote-unquote even playing field. Because that's not even. That's just, I don't know. The teams that have made themselves into things and have made themselves the best of the best deserve to be there. They were good in the beginning when nobody had money. They made a brand based on the players that they bought, the way that they interacted with their fans, and they deserve to be the best in the world, the most expensive in the world. You can't take a club like Man U, Arsenal, whoever, and let them build the brand that they built and then give them the same amount of money as Bournemouth, who just doesn't care about building a brand, or at least not noticeably so. There's no incentive on building a brand. I don't know. I don't.
Alan, we were wondering at
I think the MLS would benefit from a super team. Because a super team gets eyes from a quote-unquote super team, not an actual super team, but
only partially away from danger.
Get there, Elvis.
He's got his shot off now.
Oh, Nagby.
Save
because the best of the best, the biggest name team, the team that has won the most, creates some more storylines, creates more interest from Europe. People are like, okay, why is this team dominating? Why are they able to keep talent? Where did they get this money from? What is this brand they've built? Just.
Well, he's been in the game, hasn't he? That's the best we can say for him. But not
Alan, I'm literally at the end of my career mode. I don't need to improve anything. The window's closed. I don't need anything in my squad. This team is winning the league by over 25 points.
It's the old cliche, isn't it? Class is permanent. He's got the class, but form is temporary, and the good form has certainly deserted him in front of goal.
Well, it has, but you've got to be brave. You've
100%.
just got to keep getting yourself in there and feel sure that sooner or later it will return. That
And your other worry, right, is that if you do build somebody up like Miggy, Joseph, Barco, Tito, anybody, if you build up any of them, then you're going to end up running into the issue of, well, now we have to sit here and wait for a European team to come buy our player before we can go out and buy another one, or do we risk buying a player now and having 4 DPs like Atlanta, and now we're not going to be able to sell our players for as much because the rest of the world knows that we have to sell this player now? No. It's not good business.
There doesn't seem to be any injury involved.
I guarantee you that's a question in every boardroom right now with Atlanta in terms of an Almiron deal, Barco deal, or whatever.
Compliment the defender, but not the player trying to cross it.
The MLS needs to stop taking money from teams.
Davis. Rivas. Time for a substitution. It's unlike him, really.
The only money that the MLS needs to get is from TV deals and kit sponsor deals if they're going to keep doing this kit sponsor bullshit. There's no reason MLS should be taking money from teams. It's absolutely stupid.
And in it goes.
That's like telling Tom Brady he has to give the Patriots money for winning the Super Bowl. Imagine walking up to Tom Brady and being like, hey, so for all the championships you've won us, we're going to need $10 million because we need to build the team. It's like, what? You won it because of me. You're bigger because of me. People watch you because of me. That's how Atlanta feels right now.
Put the corner in the middle.
Atlanta's going to sell Miggy. We're going to lose the U.S. Open Cup because of this? What? You hate to see it. And then it comes off of Julian's shoulder blade, and instead of going back into goal, it goes to the keeper's hands. But I guarantee you, we're going to sell Miggy, and then the MLS is going to be like, all right, time to pay the fees to the MLS. And it's like, the MLS would have not won Best Sports Business or whatever and all of these things, and they wouldn't be world-renowned for God knows how much longer. I told you we're going to lose. We're going to lose the U.S. Open Cup because Tito hit the post right there. And my whole defense fell asleep. And my keeper decided to run out right there. Lit. I'm going to be so mad if we lose this game.
And that has opened the scoring. 1-0 here. The Alba. Good forward play from them.
Like, you're telling a team to build a brand so that you can get bigger? And they can give you more money?
9 remaining minutes.
And then we're still not going to be playing all of our games on national television?
Trying to pick out someone.
So where is this money going? Oh, it's going to Orlando City? Sick. So that you guys can fund our rivalry more and fluff it even more?
Time to get the ball in.
Oh my God.
They believe they'd get through them, but they haven't, and now they can get on.
It's
the
just
ball
crazy,
and
man. It's crazy.
In goes the corner. Defended well.
That's why I have such a big problem with the MLS, and I love the MLS. I love the brands and the teams and the marketing and everything that goes into the MLS, but good Lord, is it stupid.
And it's going to be a minimum of 3 minutes to be played of added time.
Proper tackle that.
I'm going to lose the U.S. Open Cup. I just lost the U.S. Open Cup to Red Bulls.
Well, there is the